thank you for being here today. This is episode 6 of my weekly vlog about what I'm doing to become a bettering human. And actually this is the second time I'm recording it, because the first time the microphone was the wrong one, was the built-in microphone from the MacBook, and as bad as my sound usually is, that was way worse. So for the first time ever, I actually have to do a second take of my vlog. So let's see. So I'll share what I did this week to become a bettering human. As a reminder, a bettering human is somebody who tries to make themselves a better person and to make the world a better place. And I do that by learning, contributing, and by living. So what did I learn? I didn't spend as much time, almost actually no time at all, on the things that I've been doing for the past couple of months, like calculus, probability, political science. And I got stuck on the web dev course from Meta on Coursera, because this is a 9-course specialty, and I didn't realize that. So I went to the first 3 courses super fast. It just took me a few days, and then I got stuck because course 4 is actually not available till September, and some of the courses are not available till January. So that was surprising to me. But anyway, I stopped with that, and then a couple of days ago I started a new course called, it's a mouthful, GWPL from literature, or Insights from Literature, and what it stands for is Good World, Good Person, and Good Life Insights from Literature, where I try to learn. Let's see if I have the notebook easily available here. I try to learn look at the literary works from around the world, from the oldest to the most recent, and see what they have to say about what is a good world, what is a good person, and what is a good life. And this is different than a literature course, because I will not focus on literary analysis. I will just focus on answers to those 3 questions. So that's what I started. Let's see. That forced me actually to look up lists of literary works, and I came across one that I found quite useful. It's one from Chris Beck, or Beck Chris, and he lists it in chronological order, and he has over 800 pieces on it, so that's a lot. But they gave me a chance to play around with code a little bit. And that made me happy. I was able to clean up some of the data that I got from his site and just put it in a list, but it's still not done perfectly, because some of them you see they're not formatted the right way. They have like extra spaces, and entries are combined into a single entry, so I'll have to figure out how to use regex to do that, but it made me happy to code. So that's it. That's for the new course. And then let's see, that ends my learn section. Now for contribute, these are the things I should have done, and the main 2 things are Abby here, which is my version of Jarvis, and Lau, which is learning how the world works. And those are humongous projects. So what I'm doing, I'm building small utilities that will be part of those projects. And one of them was I'm trying to figure out how to easily use the Wikipedia API. And I tried to do that last year, but it was really overwhelming. Doesn't look like much. It doesn't look as overwhelming when you first look at the site for the API. But even from the very beginning, I got confused, because there is no clear distinction or information on why these endpoints are different, and how many endpoints are there after all. And once you get on each endpoint, just the action itself, it's like a ton of actions, and then each of them has their unique parameters, and then when you go to the parameters, they are not even that clearly explained. Like, I remember there's this continue one, which I would think it's a Boolean value, but no, it's an integer, and there's no clear information on what exactly does the integer value represent. So it's a little bit confusing, but I spent quite a few hours on it, and I'm already feeling more comfortable. And I know there are a couple of Python libraries that make it easy to use the API, but I refuse. I've developed an allergy to unnecessary Python libraries. I feel that there are some that really are worth knowing, like pandas, NumPy, matplotlib, but most of the others are just, it's an unnecessary complexity and that, to any project. So I will not use that library. But it made me happy to play around with that with the API. And then I started this new utility, which I called Text-viz. And what it is, it started with the idea that whenever I look at a Wikipedia article, I would really like to be able to, first of all, capture all the named entities and have a way to visualize them, especially locations. I'd like to be able to see them on a map right away. People, I'd like to see them in like a photo gallery and see like the connections between them and all that. Any time events, historical events, I would like to see them on a timeline. So I call it a utility, but it's a huge project in itself. So I forgot to bring up the little skeleton of an app that I started. It's really ridiculous, but I will have it ready next week and just show you like how far I go along. So that's what I started working on. And then for the live portion, I started having more game nights with my daughters. We started playing trivia, which is fun. More phone calls with my family. I called my sister again. And then I started helping my daughter with watering her garden. I'm helping out more. She has a tiniest garden. It's probably like 2 feet by like maybe 15 to 20 feet. Not even that much, maybe. But it makes her so happy, and actually makes me very happy too. And I am determined to start like a winter garden and some kind of greenhouse. So that's a project that I look forward to. So that's in the live portion. And now I just do a few quick thoughts. One is that just this week I discovered Jonathan Blow. He's a game developer, and I'm completely, I really like his mindset. He's one of those people who I definitely can call a bettering human. He truly wants to put out just things that are good in the world. He doesn't want to put just content because, for the sake of making content. He wants to know that what he does is actually helping making the world a better place, and I really like that. So anyway, in this interview, he was asked about how he organizes his day, like what kind of planning tools he uses. And he said that no, he doesn't use those because the way he has his tasks is just too chaotic, and there are too many, and the Gantt chart will look monstrous. And it made me laugh because I'll show you my Gantt chart, which is ridiculous so far. Doesn't look very threatening, right? But if you look at the number, the row number, you see it's over 300, and that's because I was able to group like the different categories to make groups by category, and then anyway they once you break them down, it's a ridiculous. And that's not even, I would think, based on what I need to accomplish in this next 4.5 years, this is maybe 10 to 20%. So but still it and I don't even use it. That's a sad part. I don't actually record which days I'm working, not yet, but I will get there. But it just helps clarify the things that I need to get to. So it's actually helping me, even if at times it feels overwhelming. So that was one of the thoughts. The other thought is from this video by with Malcolm Gladwell, in which he tells he offers a different point of view on the story of David and Goliath, and how in that story Goliath was actually the underdog, and he explains why. But I really liked what his conclusion was. He said that in the end the Israelites, they didn't assess the situation the right way. They looked at this giant and they didn't realize that the source of his strength was also the source of his weakness. And he said that giants are not as strong and powerful as they seem, and sometimes the shepherd boy has a sling in his pocket. Sometimes what we think are powerless parts of a game, they are the ones with the power. So, and I feel that it's a lesson with practical applications for what's going on today, how most of us feel like we're against these Goliaths. but I really don't know what the practical application is. I don't know exactly how we can use that to be more like David or to have David outcomes. So, but I'll definitely think about it. So, and the last story is from, or the last thought is from a video I watched about Mesopotamia. And the reason I'm watching the history of lands like Sumer and or places like Sumer, ancient places like Sumer and Acadia and Babylon is because in that new course that I started about the literary works, the first book I'm reading is the Epic of Gilgamesh, and I wanted to see what the world looked like when the story presumably happened. So anyway, in this video, in the end, the person who made the video, he says, advances in technology give one the impression today that we're much wiser and vastly different from those who lived thousands of years before us. But the archaeological records tell a different story. Human beings have never been different in both good ways and bad ways than we are today, and the basic needs and desires, as well as the daily lives of the people of ancient Mesopotamia, adhere to a pattern that is easily recognizable. And I'm sure most of that is true, but I don't know how much of it is true and what kind of impact that has on our future. And that's definitely one of the questions that I want to be able to answer by the time these 4.5 years, because it's not 5 anymore, not even 4.5, by the end of 2026. I want to know, like, how much of human nature is unchangeable, and what does that mean for our future. So anyway, that's all for today. I have tons of stuff to do, so I won't keep you any longer. I'll just tell you that may you stay curious, calm, and kind, and may you keep your heart and your mind open to beauty and joy. I thank you for watching. I wish you a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.